but I predict that Top Thrill 2 will reopen again. So if you're like me, you're probably wondering when exactly is Top Thrill 2 going to be open, because you're probably trying to get up to Cedar Point to go ride this awesome new coaster. And I have bad news for you, and let's talk about this coaster, because clearly whatever is going on with it, it's not positive, because now I do not know if June is a possibility for Top Thrill 2 to reopen. Maybe July or August, who knows at this point. My name is Brandon, and welcome to my channel, Theme Park Recommendations. I'm really glad you're here, even if it's bad news. And from what I've been told by a few employees in different departments at Cedar Point, that Top Thrill 2, even though it's testing right now at night, I believe we saw the blue train and the silver train test with the new piece around the wheels for the trains. Apparently something else is going on, or that's not good enough, because the coaster is not going to be reopening anytime soon from what I am being told. Now, obviously, I hope I'm wrong, and I really hope that this is not the case, but I don't see it opening for a while, guys. It's crazy to think that this ride has already been plagued with so many issues, and some of you guys might think I'm overreacting and think, oh, you should be loosened up on Zamperla, it's not their fault, you should be nicer to Cedar Point. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be, and here's why. When you have a coaster like Top Thrill 2, which had the accident under Top Thrill Dragster, a very serious accident, plus all the other downtime and accidents the ride has caused, you have one chance to redeem yourself when you reopen and reimagine a coaster like this. And they've had bids from multiple companies to reimagine Dragster, and they chose Zamperla, and to my knowledge it was the cheapest one, but a company that the tallest coaster, I've said in past videos, the tallest coaster that they built in the past was like 130 feet tall or something like that, and the fastest was around 55 miles an hour. So I'm not the smartest person in the world, but that's just crazy for a park to invest in a coaster that is one of the biggest in the world, obviously, but not even that, but like the most iconic coasters in the world. And when you think of Cedar Point, you think of Dragster and how it's in the center of the park, and there's such a troubled history on the ride already. And then you just go to Zamperla with this, and I will admit the ride is fantastic. Zamperla did a great job on it, but when it's in operation, something's going on that should not be happening right now with this new ride. And I get it. I've worked in parks before. New rides break down very, very frequently. But for this ride, for all the testing that they've done, and for what I've heard, Top Thrill 2 has had no issues during the time leading up to opening the ride to park guests. Zero issues. And remember, they were testing this, I believe, before Christmas. So it's been a long time, and there's been at least over 1,000 or more cycles on this coaster before a park visitor was even allowed on the ride. And to have this coaster be open for like, what, 6 days? And then shut down for an indefinite period of time, it's not a good look for Cedar Point. It's not a good look for Zamperla. I'm trying to be optimistic here. I'm just being real with you all. Like, this is not a good situation, because it already creates doubt in the terms of the GP. They know there's an accident around this ride. Now it's down for an extended period of time after basically reopening for less than a week. It's a lot of negative buzz. So I really hope and pray that Cedar Point and Zamperla can get this figured out. But again, something's going on, and I know that they're not even like staffing the ride right now, and all the other employees are out at other rides, and I just don't see them coming back to Top Thrill 2 anytime soon to operate it. Again, I wish I was wrong. I really think that Cedar Point should have been smarter with their decision to go with Zamperla for this project. Again, it's just such a magnitude of a project. If we're talking like Accelerator or a smaller coaster they want to reimagine or build new, then I get it. But again, these are brand new trains. These trains are the problem Well, apparently the LSMs were too, because they replaced a bunch of LSMs. So the issues with Top Thrill 2 is a lot more than just the trains. You know what the saying is, you get what you pay for? Well, I kind of feel like it's the same with this. Again, I love Intamin, I love Mock Rides. There's other companies that put in bids for this. I just felt like that would have been a smarter decision, because based on reliability, and these companies are able to perform at a high standard and deliver a product that's not going to cause as many issues. I mean, obviously Velocicoaster, Pantheon, and even Hyperia over at Thorpe Park, they've all had issues, but nothing like this. And that's what's really disturbing with this, because the buzz at Cedar Point that opening weekend was at an all-time high. People were there. Top Thrill 2 was back. Like, the energy was at another level. It was fantastic. I loved my 4 rides on it. I loved being around the whole Top Thrill 2 plaza. It was great. And now, again, this being closed, Cedar Fair is losing a lot of money, because a lot of people are canceling their trips or not planning a trip to Cedar Point until Top Thrill 2 does reopen. Then my next question is, when it does reopen, how long until the next breakdown? Hopefully not very long again, but it is crazy. And my family and I were supposed to go up in late June, but unfortunately I canceled, because I really want to get my wife on Top Thrill 2. And for me, it's not worth driving all the way up there from Charlotte just to go there if I'm going to be looking at the ornament when I just want to ride it. Because in my past video, Top Thrill 2 is one of my top 3 favorite coasters at Cedar Point. And more on that in a minute. But I predict that Top Thrill 2 will reopen again this year. I just think that it was supposed to open up in early June. That is what I was told. As a matter of fact, about a week or so away from now, it was supposed to open up. But it's pretty clear that there's other issues going on, and now it's going to be late June, early July maybe. Again, I don't know, but I do predict that Top Thrill 2 will be down for a few weeks, probably into July at this point. Again, I wish I was wrong, and I really hope I am wrong. But that is what I'm hearing. Now, if you're curious as to where I rank Top Thrill 2 at Cedar Point, then this video at the bottom of your screen is just for you. So what are your thoughts on Top Thrill 2? Do you think Cedar Fair should have went with Zamperla or someone else? And when do you think it's going to reopen? With all that said, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.